When we talk about Philippine cinema, so many stories are centered on the urban, the familiar, or the commercial. But every once in a while, a film emerges that reminds us there are worlds within our country still waiting to be seen on screen. One such film is Kna, The Dreamweaver, directed by Ida Anita Del Mundo. The movie doesn't just tell a love story, it immerses us in the world of the Tiboli people of South Cotabato, where culture, dreams, and tradition are literally woven together.
Nakita sa daude, tu hapakan.
For the Tiboli, dream weaving isn't just an art form, it's a spiritual gift. They believe that the patterns for their beautiful tinala cloth come to dream weavers in their sleep, passed down from the spirit of Fodalu, the goddess of Abaka.
Dalo.
To weave a dream is to weave history, memory, and destiny all at once. And that's what makes Kana the Dream Weaver such a vital film. It doesn't simply portray a community, it embodies a philosophy showing us how love, sacrifice, and duty are bound together like the intricate threads of a tinalak. Yet, despite its beauty and cultural weight, this film often gets overlooked in conversations about Philippine cinema. So, today, let's talk about why this film deserves more attention and what it teaches us about culture, identity, and the future of our stories. Let's talk about Kana, the Dream Weaver. Let me tell you the story. Kana, the Dream Weaver, tells the story of Kana, a young Tiboli woman whose life is suddenly changed when she is chosen by her community to become their new Dream Weaver. For the Tiboli, this isn't just an honor, it's a sacred duty. A Dream Weaver doesn't just weave cloth, she weaves the very visions of the tribe, turning dreams into the intricate patterns of the tinalak. But with this role comes a sacrifice. While Kana begins to embrace her responsibilities, she also finds herself falling in love with Silao, a warrior whose affection is as genuine as it is dangerous. Because for Kana, her life isn't fully her own anymore. The village needs her not only as a dream weaver, but also as a figure of unity, someone who could potentially marry for duty and bring peace between warring tribes. This tension between personal desire and communal responsibility drives the heart of the film. The story shows Kana caught between her love for Silao and her obligation to her people. Does she choose love and risk the harmony of her village, or does she give up her happiness to secure peace for everyone else? The film unfolds against the breathtaking backdrop of Lake Cebu in South Cotabato, where lush landscapes and rural waters reflect both the beauty and the weight of tradition. And while the battles and rivalries of the tribes play out in the background, it's really Kana's internal struggle that makes the story so moving. In the end, Kana, the Dream Weaver, is less about big wars or spectacle and more about the quiet but painful choices that shape a life. Choices that mirror the weaving of Tinalak itself, where each thread, no matter how small, becomes part of a bigger design. One of the most beautiful aspects of Kana, the Dream Weaver, is how it uses Tinalak weaving not just as a cultural practice, but as a metaphor for destiny. Among the Tiboli, weaving is guided by dreams. Patterns are believed to come from the spirit of Abaka, and the Dream Weaver has the sacred role of bringing those visions into life through cloth. In the film, Kina's role as a dream weaver symbolizes how her personal life is also being woven. Each choice she makes becomes a thread in the larger tapestry of her community's survival. Her dreams aren't just personal, they are deeply tied to the collective fate of her people. This is where the film shines. It suggests that destiny is not random. Like weaving, it's carefully crafted, full of color and tension, shaped by patience, sacrifice, and vision. Kana's own longing for freedom and love is woven into a larger story, one where personal dreams must sometimes bend to the greater design of cultural survival. And this is why Kana the Dream Weaver is such an important film to discuss. It doesn't just showcase indigenous tradition, it turns that tradition into a lens for understanding universal struggles with faith, choice, and identity. One of the things that struck me the most about Kana the Dreamweaver is how it handles the tension between love and responsibility. Kana's love for Silao feels so natural, so human. We see her smile differently around him. We see her guard come down. It's the kind of love that makes you hope she'll just run away and choose her own happiness. But that's where the heartbreak comes in. She's not just a young woman in love, she's the dream weaver of her people. Her life isn't fully her own anymore, and her choices ripple out across her entire community. And in the end, she chooses duty. She sacrifices her heart because peace for her people matters more than her own longing. That hit me hard. Because who hasn't felt that moment where your own dreams clash with what's expected of you? Maybe not on such a grand scale as Kana, but in our own ways. We all know what it's like to set aside what we want for the sake of family, tradition, or even survival. And that's why this story lingers. It's not just about a forbidden romance, it's about the pain of knowing what could have been and still walking away. Because sometimes, love, as powerful as it is, has to give way to something bigger than ourselves. What makes Kana the Dreamweaver so powerful isn't just the story of one woman. It's how the film becomes a vessel for the Tiboli people. Their art, their dreams, their struggles. Watching it, you realize you're not just seeing a narrative play out. You're being invited into a culture that has survived for centuries through oral traditions, through weaving, through stories passed down from one generation to the next. And honestly, that gave me chills. Because in a world where everything is moving so fast, where cultures and languages can be forgotten so easily, films like this are more than entertainment. They're preservation. They remind us that stories are not just for escape, they're also for survival. On a personal note, I found myself thinking about my own roots and how much of our identities are tied to the stories we keep alive. Kana's tapestry isn't just for her tribe, it's also for us. It's a reminder that if we don't take care of these narratives, they'll fade. And when they fade, a piece of who we are disappears with them. That's why Kana the Dreamweaver deserves more attention. It's not just a film, it's a cultural memory woven into cinema. At the heart of Kana the Dreamweaver lies a question that transcends culture and time. How much of ourselves do we owe to tradition? And how much can we claim for our own dreams? Kana's journey is not just about weaving tapestries, it's about weaving together her desires with the heavy responsibilities placed upon her. She represents countless individuals who are caught between personal happiness and the expectations of family, community, or culture. It's a struggle many of us can relate to, even if we're far removed from the Tiboli way of life. What makes this theme so powerful is how the film never demonizes tradition. The dream weaving, the rituals, the responsibility, these are portrayed with beauty and respect. But it also shows the very real pain of sacrifice. Kana has to ask herself if she can live a life defined by others or if she can carve out a space for her own choices within the weight of duty. It's this tension between love and responsibility, between self and community, that makes Kana the Dreamweaver not just a cultural film, but a universal one. And it's why more people should be talking about it. Kana the Dreamweaver may not have the mainstream recognition of other Filipino films, but it carries a depth and cultural weight that makes it unforgettable. By placing the Tiboli people, their traditions, and their artistry at the center, it reminds us that cinema is more than entertainment. It's preservation, reflection, and storytelling at its purest. Kana's struggle between love and duty mirrors questions we all face in our own lives, though hers is deeply rooted in the tapestry of her people. And that's the beauty of this film. It's both a window into a specific culture and a mirror that reflects our own choices, sacrifices, and dreams. This is the reason why more people should be talking about Kana the Dreamweaver. Because in doing so, we're not just celebrating a film, we're honoring the culture it represents, and we're acknowledging the universal truths it reveals about being human. So, if you haven't seen it yet, seek it out. Let the colors of the dream weaving and the story of Kana stay with you. It deserves to be remembered, revisited, and most of all, respected.